Excuse my outfit. I've been watching a lot of Wu-Tang. What's up, y'all? So I recently just watched a video from CoryxKenshin called No Limits. Also watched a video from another creator who actually lives in my city. Her name is Victoria, but she goes by Contradiction. Made a video called Make It Happen. And in both videos, they talk about their adversities and why they came out good on the other side. And I seen Victoria, I'm called Contradiction, post on Twitter how she was inspired by that video. And I already knew after that I had to make one about what I'm going through. If you don't know, my name is Jetpack Jeff. What's up? I'm Haitian American. I come from a Haitian background, and I was born in Brooklyn, New York, Long Island Hospital. I spent half my life in New York, and I spent half my life here in Atlanta. And I grew up Haitian. There's some things that come with being a Haitian American, being a Haitian kid, that suck. Now, if you're an immigrant and you come to this country, whether you're Asian or you're Mexican or you're something else, that generation above might, put a little bit more effort into making sure that their kids are straight. So make sure that you have a better life than they did. They always say that. I want you to have a better life than I did. My mom was no different. The difference between being raised Haitian American, maybe like Asian American or, Mexican Americans, because the stereotypes of being black, plus your parents are immigrant. All I'm saying with all that is that with all the adversity that it comes to being someone who has parents that are really, really weighing down on you and a society that wants you to be a certain way, there's light on the other side of the tunnel. No matter how you talk, no matter how you dress, no matter how you act, no matter what you're into, you can make it. For full transparency, right now we are recording in East Atlanta, and I am by myself right now. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. I pay for myself, just me and my dog Donna. Shout out to Donna. But it's just me and her. I pay for this stuff myself. And 12 months ago, I was taking a bus to work. I was in a relationship where I still was paying for all this stuff. And I was getting a lot of negative feedback from a lot of people. This video is going to go all around the world, so let me try to stay on subject. If you say you want to do anything else besides being a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, then they're like, how are you supposed to live off that, For me, when I grew up, I told my mom, yo, I want to be a doctor, right? And as I came closer to graduating high school, I looked at the stuff to be a doctor and I was like, yo, I do not want to be in school that long. So, contrary to popular belief from my family and friends, I ended up switching my major to nursing. Yeah, I know. Every Haitian's probably looking like, bro, everyone wants to be a nurse, bro. Everyone wants to be a nurse. Well, I chose to be a nurse. I was really still am into science. When it comes to facts about the human body, I was very interested in that stuff. I wanted to take anatomy in high school so bad, but the teacher wouldn't let me take it. So it wasn't something that I was forced to do. It actually was something that I felt like was me, Also, I also was running track and field, and that was my passion. So I was like, I had a whole thing mapped out. I was like, plan A, I'ma be a professional track and field athlete, and if it doesn't work out, I'm gonna be a nurse, right? And I'm gonna record my journey in college, and the funniest thing you can do is tell God what you're gonna do, like He didn't make you. And granted, track and field is very important for school because I'm running for a school. But when I finally got a scholarship on my own, it's like I realized the lesson that I should have learned a long time ago. My family does not give a damn about me running no damn track. If you're Haitian, there's 3 things that are important: l'école, la caille, l'église. For all my people that aren't Haitian, it means school, home, church. That's it. And with being Haitian, there's already so many stigmas with our country and where it comes from. And I don't have that long to explain to you all the stuff that comes with being a Haitian kid and people saying that, oh, you probably do voodoo, like all that negative shit that we have to deal with. Excuse my language. All that negative stuff that we have to deal with. But when it comes to dealing with the stuff at home and then dealing with the stuff at school, it's a little tough to navigate who you actually want to be. Right now, I am a videographer and I make all my money from making videos. I work for clients here in Atlanta. Most of my money is black, which is amazing. And it's only suitable that that's true because I'm from a country whose claim to fame is being the first black nation to get its own independence. In a duality situation, I had to fight to get my own independence in what I do right now. It was hard for me to even tell my mom anything outside of the thing that I wanted to do, right? Sorry if this video is all over the place, but so many points and so much little time I want to say. I don't want to make it too long, but Haitian kids got the stigma of being an immigrant with the problems of being black. So if you know me, I have the gift of gab. I talk a lot. I would get in trouble so much for talking. And I remember this stuck with me so much. This teacher, her name was Tamara Avent. I think it was Tamara Avent. This lady, Miss Avent, she was my math teacher, and I thought she was cool when I first met her. Young black lady, short pixie hair, you know, good looking, dark skinned teacher. And I remember in class, I'd get in trouble for talking, right? I'd be sitting next to my friends, I'd talk. He'd be like, all right, Jeff, we're moving you somewhere else. They moved me next to someone else. I still talk, right? And it was like, sometimes, and to be honest with you, reflecting now, it wasn't so much that I didn't learn my lesson. It was more so like, even when I snuck talk, she was just staring at me like, I know you're gonna talk, boy. I remember she put me next to the smartest kid in school. No, smartest kid in our class. And when I sat next to her, she was talking to me. And I still got in trouble. And they were like, yo, you keep talking to all the kids in class. I don't understand why you don't get it. So she kept picking on me for stupid reasons, right? I'm over here. I remember one day we were literally learning something in class, right? A new rubric, a new thing we just learned that day. She called me up in class to try to do it, right? And literally we just learned the math thing. And I couldn't do it. And I was like, yo, I don't know. We just learned it. And she was like, honestly, Jeff, I give up on you. Give up on me? Yo, I mean, I know I'm not the smartest kid in school, but like, or the most studious kid in school, but like, why are you picking on me? I just learned this thing today. Like, no one else in class knows this thing. You're just picking on me. And I remember going into the library one day and then seeing her like argue with someone on the phone, which is proof that she probably was just going through stuff herself, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't want to feel like that. Never wanted to feel like that when someone just gave up on me. So I remember after that, I just didn't want to be on no one's bad side. Ain't nobody want to hear someone mad at me because I'm going against the grain, you know? So I used to never go against the grain with nothing. Fast forward to now, after all the adversity that is so long, and I can't put all of it in this video. I kind of talk about it on my podcast. Shout out to Fuel Up, best podcast in Atlanta. Go ahead and look at that. It's in the description below. School is the most pinnacle thing in a Haitian kid's life, because if you don't do it, most of the time, your family, especially if they're from an old school background, they ain't gonna like it. If you Haitian and you don't go to school after high school, you are labeled a vagabond. Vagabond. If you're a vagabond, that just means you're a troublemaker. You're you're not right. It's a negative term, right? I don't know what it directly translates to, but I just know you vagabond, you bad. And ladies and gentlemen, you are watching a vagabond in the works right now. I'm one of the finest videographers in Atlanta. I'm gonna say it. I don't give a fuck. I'm one of the finest videographers in Atlanta. My editing skills is top notch. Whatever camera you give me, I can make it work. I don't even have the best equipment, but your boy will pull in thousands of dollars in a month. And I didn't go to school for it. And I'm still too afraid to tell my mom that this is what I do for a living. And that even if I was a full-fledged nurse making double what the average is in this state, I would want to do this instead. So take it from me, a Haitian kid who was just starting his journey. Just do what you want to do. Your parents won't die with you. They die alone. So do you. So do you really want to live life doing what somebody else wants to do? Regardless if you believe in that you're going to be reincarnated, going to heaven, or it's the one and only life you live, don't live it for nobody else. And if you're Haitian, take it from another Haitian kid. Your parents shouldn't love you any less if you decide to do what you want to do. We know how much Haitian moms and dads, especially moms, love their kids. My mom loves me to death. My mom could say all day, you know, Jeff, just pay $800, you know, pay $800 and then you can live here. But that comes with a price. And the price of freedom is much more important. If you're living with your parents and it's good, live with your parents. It's good. I know some people right now, they saved up 10 grand living at their mom's place. But if you know it's not going to happen, like me, that was never going to happen, then don't do it, bro. Because your sanity is much more important than anything. Being Haitian has so much negative impact into it that it's like, I don't want to negatively impact my country. I don't want to negatively impact my parents, and I don't want to negatively impact myself. And that comes with a heavy load. So it sucks. But never in my life have I never not been proud to be Haitian. Toussaint Louverture should be taught in every school, regardless of where you're from. It's the most underdog story in the world. And that's the story of my people. And unfortunately, the old school people that are Haitian don't get it yet. They think you should work for a company for 30 years. And after you work for that company for 30 years, you live off your retirement, you live a good life. Where does happiness play into that? You might be happy knowing that I'm good, but I will be miserable and wanted to off myself and jump off a hospital building because you forced me to be a nurse or a radiologist. Which, by the way, I saw Contradiction talking about, and that hit home so well because I used to work for the radiology department at Emory. So I was like, yo, I could do this as a career, trying to halfway please my mom while pleasing myself. Nah, bro. Do what you want. And not only that, do what you want now. 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 That waiting. Seriously. Especially now. You know why? Because no matter what age you are right now, the moment that you say, I'm going to wait or I'm going to do this is the moment where you lose. They say 92% of the thoughts you had yesterday is the same thoughts that you're going to have today. The same exact ones. Oh, I got to do this. So I'm going to wake up and do that. It doesn't matter. You're going to have the same thoughts every single day. So if you don't manually change up the format, your body's going to go into autopilot and keep doing what you've been doing. And if you're someone who hates the fact that you're stuck in a loop, then you need to change that loop now. Seriously. I want to make money. You ever made a plan to make money? Yeah, bro, I made a plan. I'm going to do this and that. All I got to do is that. We'll get to all that it is faster. I'm just waiting on that now. And listen, You talking to someone who doesn't believe in credit cards. You talking to someone who hates risk. You talking to someone who hates all that stuff because it puts you in a rocky boat. Fuck that. Get on the fucking rocky boat and rock that bitch, okay? Especially if you're Haitian, because being Haitian feels like you're on the bottom of the total pole of black people. And I hate that. We have so much to be proud of and so much negative stuff that comes with it, you know? If you're Jamaican, you smoke weed. If you're Cuban, it's illegal to come here. If you're Dominican, then I don't even know what's negative with Dominicans, but with Haitians, I hear it all the time. Most poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. This country is cursed. We're plagued with disasters, hurricanes, plagued with earthquakes. And granted, it sucks that that's where our country is. But if you're a Haitian person listening to this, and granted, if you're anybody listening to this who feels adversity, take it for someone who feels like at the bottom of it. You can do it. You can do it. I haven't even made it to my final form, and I can already see the light at the end of the tunnel. Do what you gotta do to be the best person you can be. I'd rather live half a life doing what I always wanted to do, live a full life miserable. Being happy is one of the most important things in my life personally. So if that sympathizes with you, if that lines up with you, let this video be your wake-up call. And you know what? I'll be there right next to you, because when you make it, I'll be in the same room. I want to thank CoryxKenshin for making his video No Limits, and I want to thank Contraviction for making her video Make It Happen. Both their videos will be in the description below. But like I said, y'all, I'll see y'all at the top. I'll get the creme brulee ready, okay? I'll see you later.